Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to do a bit of a reaction to a new gacha game version. And that gacha game version is, of course, going to be 2.3 for good old Zenless Zone Zero. And I'm going to be honest over here, I am not currently playing the game right now, but I am eagerly looking for reasons to come back. Because it's no lie at all to say that the last couple of patches have been a bit of a disappointment. When you think about things like character design, like what the hell even is this thing? What the hell is even that thing? Right? It's not a very exciting time in the game, especially with the drip marking that came out, and then all you saw were characters like, well, Yizhuan #1 over here on the top, and then Octopus Yizhuan over here on the side. And so I'm looking, I'm waiting. I've already seen some of the teasers over here. They're clearly advertising the next set of characters because this set didn't do very well. Let's go ahead and see how it is. I've also heard there have been some redesigns that are causing some drama in the community, so we'll make sure to share some of our thoughts on those. But, yeah, let's get right on into it. Oh, and just as a bit of a warning, we're not going to be watching the whole live stream as we always do. We're just going to go with the 8-minute teaser that the devs provide every single patch, just so we can get a condensed view of the information. But don't worry, we will be making sure to go back to the live stream for any relevant pieces to make sure that we get the full information on the situation.
Have you heard the town whisper?
Wanna know? Then play hide and seek with me. Find me, and I'll tell you.
So, this is the town. It's a little different from what I imagined.
Okay, so I guess this is like the Spook Shack patch, right? Because I think that these two units over here, they're both Spook Shack. So I think they're with the Yuzuha, the Alice sort of situation. Okay, so they're building out that faction pretty significantly.
Granny says dreams are where you talk to those who've passed away.
The unfortunate part is that I think this is the worst faction in the game. I'm just gonna be honest with you. In terms of like story characterization, it's a bunch of high schoolers who are like going out and like solving crime or like solving like issues with like the whole ethereal thing. It just seems a little bit silly in the context of you just partnered with military organizations. You just partnered with Obol Squad, an elite military force. You're best friends with Miyabi. And then also the police guys over, you know, like, what's her name? Zhu Yan and Qing Yi. I just feel like the characterization of this, and this is why a big reason for why I put the game down, is that the story just feels like it doesn't make that much sense anymore. And further extension of the whole, like, Spook Shack thing for me is just, like, this is literally a job for, like, adults. We've already established them in the world. It's just not very exciting for me. But, I don't know. Maybe the trailer's enough to bring me back. We'll see.
Of course. Rest easy tonight, and sweet dreams.
The Night Emissary's Hollow Adventure is a go!
So I think this is where they did the redesigns.
Reverse Shockwave!
Because this is clearly meant to be, I think, like a... I think she's also meant to be, like, around the same age as, like, Alice and Yuzuha. And I'm just gonna be real over here.
Dullahan Strike!
She just looks like Yizhuan. She literally just looks like Yizhuan copy-pasted with blue hair. Literally everything. And kind of like I think the big issue with the redesign for a lot of people is that she was originally drip marketed not looking like that. And so let me just show you all an example of what she used to look like before and what she kind of looks like now. And I'm just gonna be real here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, they just took the Gooner level up to about 9,000,000. Basically, she had a bit more of like a slightly, I guess, depending on under, over, whatever you're looking for, design change, where, well, this is what she looked like before, now she looks like that, and it's without a doubt literally just Yizhuan version 2. And so naturally this is something done. I think a couple of people are upset, and I just think the main thing about it is that people might be upset about the fact that it changed from this to this, but they also just might be upset by the fact that she looks like an exact clone of an already existing playable character. And the best part is that she is a Rupture support. Yizhuan is a Rupture DPS, and so like the best in slot lineup you'll have is using her with Yizhuan. So it's not enough that they look the same from a model perspective. They're also going to be on the same team at the same time. So it's like, it's going to get even more confusing as you're playing them.
Duration Strike! Thanatos Storm! Ruthless Fiend! Attack with me!
Yeah, I'm not really too much of a fan of her voice work. I'm gonna be honest. She seems way too. Maybe it's because she reminds me of Ganyu too much, but like I expected her to be like more quiet or like softer spoken. Perhaps that's a better term. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, she's not really doing it for me. Okay. Now we got Octopus Yijuan.
Dream seems to have become a reality. A new chapter begins. As foreshadowed.
You can
Noise, be gone.
You can kind of see what's going on, right?
The next page is the ending.
Oh. Oh, okay. All right. Hey, I guess he's just coming in. All right.
Witness the blade of Commodore Monato!
Okay, so I think this is the thing. He's actually cooler than both of them. Yeah, Monado, his kit and his ultimate, all of that, they do seem cooler than the other characters. I'm going to be honest. So the whole like A rank, everyone being pissed off that Monado's an A rank, people being mad that the other two got, are S ranks even though they've never been seen before. I think that's fine, right? I think that's a fair take because his kit, his animations, he looks better than the other characters. So it's just like, you got 2 copies of Yijuan at S rank, and then the one original character, you just put in it's an A rank. It just seems uninspired.
I'm here to bring you back to town, Idari.
I always go with the flow.
I'm just scared that ZZZ is gonna do this thing again that they've been doing every single patch since 2.0. They write the story for the version beforehand, and then they find ways for characters to be slotted in. And it just ends up feeling like the way that the characters are implemented in the story is like incredibly forced. Doesn't make a lot of sense, and it's like tacked on at the last moment. It seems like that's always been the thing since version 2.0 of this game. I'm pretty sure it happened in 2.2 as well, where they created certain links between certain enemy faction leaders and some NPCs that we got familiar with. They're probably just gonna do it again over here. Because how else do you think 2 characters that we haven't seen before are gonna get woven into the story?
But everyone leaves eventually. This is the curse the Hollow has placed upon me.
Because we received the guidance of the Night Horror.
Oh, Toad and Ethereal, please show me your true power!
Go and show me for real a dream that's truly worth it for Commodore Monato.
Okay, he turned black and white.
My calamity. I only care about whether or not I can save her. Filth, I shall deal with you.
Go! Little heart piece! Come on! One last game of hide and seek. Let's all have fun together.
What is even going on in this trailer? You know what? I guess that's a good thing, is that I don't feel like anything's been spoiled necessarily because I have no clue what's even happening. I guess there's just gonna be a big fight between the new with the new characters, and I guess a combination of mech and ethereals. Yeah, I guess that's the main takeaway.
Let's all have
And Zhang Liao.
fun together.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna judge it too early. All I know is, like I said before, Spook Shack is my least favorite faction in the game, simply due to like how they fit into the setting. It just seems really off every single time, and I guess it just seems like they're gonna go overboard with them again, because 2.1 was the Spook Shack centered story. I thought it was the worst story written in gacha in like the past 2 to 3 years, and so I don't know, maybe they'll level it up for this one. Let's see what else.
Do you like how it looks?
Man, what was that? Bro, what was that? What did I just hear, bro? I knew that Vivian's skin was in this patch, but I didn't know that was the voice line that accompanied it. Do I play it again? Do I play it again?
You like how it looks?
It's like, I don't even know what's going on. Isn't she a vampire? Why is she trying to sound like that? Alright, they'll have more details of the skin later on. Okay. Why is bro clapping? Okay, looks like some active exploration going on. Looks like a Lucia story quest. Okay. Okay, she's a Pokemon trainer. And now we got the Vivian skin. So this is the one that had that cringe-ass voice line, but we got some more details about this one. Okay, so they didn't really show that much when it comes to this skin, but I think this is kind of like the main highlight or potentially the biggest lowlight of the patch, depending on, well, your point of view on it. So across versions 2.3 and 2.4, this skin will basically be available as a spending event. Yes, you might have seen some misinformation online from some Zenless Zone Zero community members telling you, right, that the Vivian skin is free. No, it's not. You need to spend 180 limited pulls across 2 versions to be able to get it for free. But yeah, no, that's not even close to free. That's one of the furthest things possible from free. So essentially, this is the same exact thing as the spending event there was in Honkai Star Rail, but there's been a bit of an improvement. I think having a skin as a spending event is a lot better than having a light cone, which is a Honkai Star Rail weapon. It's like a disc drive in ZZZ, right? Then instead of having a light cone for a meta character locked behind a spending event. So this one over here, right? Yes, it's a skin. Yes, it's a spending event, but still, at the end of the day, right? It's just a skin. So I don't think it's the worst thing ever, but I do think it begs the question of why does this game, even at the point where it's having spending events, I guess, like, of this caliber, 180 pulls is a lot, right? And the fact of the matter is, you could just not want Lucia, you could just not want Yidari because you don't really like their designs. The characters you want rerunning aren't available. And then there's also a decent chance, right, you won't like who's in 2.4. And so essentially, right, you're gonna be forced to pull 180 times across 2 patches, hope that one of the reruns you like them, or hope that you like one of the new characters, but you literally cannot skip, otherwise you won't get the skin, right? I think Vivian's probably gonna be a character that reruns, so that might just be like a natural opportunity that makes sense, right? But this is also the other thing. What if they just release another broken-ass character in version 2.5, right? Like we just talked about before, this event is only available from version 2.3 to 2.4. So what if they release Miyabi version 2, Miyabi V2 in version 2.5 after all of this? You can also buy it outright in the shop. So why don't they just give out the skin for free? Why are they having a spending event for it? Well, it's because they want you to spend money in this patch. And of course, right, if you miss the spending event, then you can buy it after the event ends. But yeah, the only way that you're getting it during the event period is to spend for 180 pulls. And this is the thing, right? If you're a purely free-to-play ZZZ player, are you even going to get 180 pulls from the start of 2.3 to the end of 2.4? Are you even going to have 180 pulls in 2 patches? So ZZZ gives out over 90 free-to-play pulls a patch. So you're all saying ZZZ gives out over 90 free-to-play pulls a patch. ZZZ pull count. Let's just double check that over here. Let's just check it out. Okay, so I'm seeing that 2.2 had literally 90. Okay, so you log in, you do every single event, you'll get 90. You do every single event. You do every single endgame. You full clear Shiyu defense. You full clear Deadly Assault, all of that. Or sorry, you get 6 out of whatever on Deadly Assault. And so that's going to be, assuming that the pull count doesn't go below 90. When I saw 1.7 and I saw 2.2, 90 was what it was for those versions. Okay? Okay. Hey, if it's achievable for free-to-plays, great. I'm glad that it's planned out a lot better than the Archer Light Cone one. But, I'm just gonna be real with you over here. Once again, you're gonna have to want one of the characters that's in 2.3, or you're gonna want one of the characters that's in 2.4. You're going to basically have to enjoy one of those units if you do want the skin for free, right? And once again, it's not really free, it's a rebate. So yeah, I'm glad that you're able to get to the pull count. I'm glad that it's achievable for free-to-plays, but once again, you're going to have to empty out your entire storage. You're going to have to empty out all of your savings. And whatever unit they have in version 2.5, you're not going to be able to afford or even get close to affording as a free-to-play if you want this skin. The next thing that you got to think about when it comes to these spending events is, what do you do if you're like on a guarantee or you're like on a pity? Y'all probably didn't think about that one. You're on a guarantee, and then not really any characters that you want. You'd be okay with losing a 50-50 and then building up pity from there. That's like another phenomenon that you guys got to think about as well, which is equally even more important for free-to-play players. So I'm just going to go ahead, just be upfront and say that, like, I just think spending events like this to such a high quantity of pulls is just inherently not that great. Even if a free-to-play player can do it, there's so much spending pressure on characters that you don't even know the kits for, that you don't even know, like, the meta relevance or strength of. Like, you're already thinking about versions that are, like, 50-plus days from now. It's just, if this was, like, 90 pulls over 2 patches, fair. I pretty much have no complaints at all about it if it was 90 pulls over 2 patches. But right now, just the raw number of 180, guys, if you go from 0 pity on 50-50 to a guaranteed character, and you lose the 50-50, that's only like 160 pulls. And so the number doesn't even like line up to how much you would spend to like get a character off the banner anyways. So that's just like, even like the number 180 is like ridiculous. 150, if it was gonna be over 100, would make even more sense. But 90 is just a way more reasonable target. And it's just, I don't know why it's so high. I don't really know why it's so high. And it just seems really off. It just seems really damn off. So yeah, you get a character early, you're screwed. You don't want 2.3 or 2.4 characters, you're screwed. If you don't like Vivian, I guess it's not a problem. But it's also just like, why have 180 pull spending events in your game anyways? Unless you want to appear desperate for money. And I'm just gonna be honest. It does seem a little bit desperate to have something like this in your game. Much like how, when you saw it in Honkai Star Rail, we said the same exact thing. And unlike how, you can, and once again, you cannot compare this to Gilded Night Market from Wuthering Waves, where you had to spend, what, like 40 pulls during the anniversary banners where every character in the game was available? Yeah, that's not even close to the same as this one. So yeah, I hope you like the reruns in 2.3 or 2.4, or you like the new characters. But when I do think they teased a little bit about some of the upcoming units, right? Isn't one like a little dog thing? Oh, right, they got the teaser over here. I hope you're excited. Okay. Yeah, we're fucked. Yeah, are you gonna pull that? You gonna pull whatever that was? What the fuck even is that? And buffs. Okay, so I like when the devs can recognize that they absolutely fucked up with the design and the kit of a character. So it's great that they're making changes. However, you can't call into doubt the development process for Zenless Zone Zero, that they have to buff a unit that was released like 5 months ago. It's great that they're buffing her because she was underpowered, but you can call into question why she even needed buffs in the first place. A limited character that released in version 1.5 or 1.6. I think it was 1.5. I think it was 1.6, 1.5. One of those two. That wasn't that long ago. So what is going on internally at the development team to fuck up this badly that the character needs a buff to this high of a degree 5 months into her release? Oh, it was 1.6. Sorry. Then perhaps even less time. Yeah, I don't know what she does that's so different. Let's just look at the lineup again. Literally yeesh one. I don't even... Dude. Alright, she can flip the pages of the book without touching it. And she's just... That's basically like pole dancing, but okay. Alright, new W engines. So yeah, she's a support for Rupture. She's a Rupture, and he's a Rupture as well. So this is one of the big concerns that I have upcoming for the next endgame reset for this game. Rupture agents are those who are able to ignore defense. And so the biggest concern that I have is that because this is clearly an all Rupture lineup, the endgame is probably going to have the most absurd amounts of defense inflation you've ever seen. And so... basically, unless you're using Rupture agents and Rupture teams, you're probably not going to deal very much damage at all. And so, hopefully, right, they reduce the HP, they, like, balance out the survivability. But when you know that these are the same devs that put in a stealth nerf to Anomaly on the endgame bosses so that Miyabi and all these other Anomaly agents felt weaker unless you pulled Yazuha, who increases Anomaly buildup. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of faith that they're going to balance out this whole Rupture thing particularly well. So, yeah, get ready for the Rupture meta, ladies and gentlemen. Just like I warned you about. Alright, just a 600 polychrome. Okay, cool. The all-new program. I don't know why they keep calling it the all-new program, because they have this one every single patch. Yep. They just give out a raw 10 pull every patch. Boopons. Okay, nobody cares about those anymore. A signal search thank you gift. Ah. So that's what they decided to call it. A thank you for spending 180 pulls on our game. And also a fuck you if you don't. Awesome. Awesome. Threshold simulation, branching echoes. Man. I guess this... Hey, I'll give credit where credit is due. At least ZZZ has combat events. If ZZZ can have them, why can't we? Okay, it looks like you get a Monado dupe from this one. I guess that's neat. What else? What the fuck is this? Is that turn-based? What even is that? That looked like turn-based. Okay. Fortune telling. Okay, it's okay. Cool. I kind of wish there was a skip button for that one, but sure. They got 2 combat events. Oh, never mind. It's just a photo event. Never mind. Nah, that's the same shit that's in Wuthering Waves. That balances out. Yeah, I'm not gonna get excited for that one. This is just like a basic exploration event. It's clear that ZZZ is trying to build out the exploration part of its gameplay a lot more. You know, slowly transitioning into like, not really like an open world, but I would say like an instanced world. So yeah, I do think that they're completely missing the mark on everything that they're doing in their version of like the instanced world. It is incredibly just it feels so pointless. Every single mechanism, every single puzzle, every single like bit of like exploration mechanic that they have, it basically devolves into you pressing R and then spamming the F button. That's just what all the exploration in this game is. I think sometimes I turn my DPI up to the max, press R, and then just start spamming F. And then eventually I'll like just hit all the interactables and then just move on. It feels off. It feels like it was made for like a tablet kid who has like a disability and like they're able to complete it. Like it literally requires like that little like effort to get engaged in any of these puzzles. They got like recycling. Okay, so this is just like daily resources. Okay. And okay, this is they're getting into the 2x events. I'm gonna skip these. I don't know why they insist on showing gameplay for this. Yes, it's a double claim reward, guys. Surely by version 2.7 we know what's up now. All right, let's check out the quality of life. Great. I'm pretty sure people are gonna use this for combat shots. Yeah, I'm pretty sure people are definitely gonna use this for combat shots. Highlight recommended substats. Okay, that's good. Now you know immediately if a piece is dog shit. Assuming that you can't read what the substats say. Alright. Yeah, I feel like there's not too much that we missed over here in comparison to the live stream. I think the main thing is the fact that I think Hoyoverse already kind of knows that this version is a little bit cooked. I think there's a reason why, once again, kind of like as per usual, before the version 2.3 update is even out, they've already started doing their advertisements for version 2.4, right? There's a reason why these were all released in the same frame of time, within 1 hour of each other. And I think it's pretty simple. Like I mentioned, right? A lot of people aren't really looking forward to these dog-ass designs, because they literally just look like she has Vivian's top half, and then Yizhuan's bottom half, and now she's just blue Yizhuan. They're already looking for the next set of characters. And I'll give my honest take on who I'm seeing over here. She's like, okay. I would hope she's a 4-star. She gives me like 4-star vibes to me because she's got like way too much like random fucking shit on like her ornaments. I think she kind of reminds me of like a Dalmatian, like Cruella de Vil, but like a goofy looking version of it. She looks like an absolute piece of shit. I really have no clue in any universe why there's even a design like this in the game. I'm basically just gonna go out and say it. If this is what you're into, I hope you end up getting studied in the future so that we can prevent more instances of this ever occurring in society again. What else? He's cool. Yeah, he's badass. This is like Zenyatta if he took like robot steroids. So yeah, no, this is like Zenyatta and Ramatra combined into one character. Yeah, it's pretty badass. Not gonna lie, I hope he sounds like a robot and punches the fuck out of enemies. He's pretty cool looking. What else? Yeah, this is like, you're cool, you're alright, yeah. And then we got the whole, we already talked about dog shit these units are. What else now? Alright, now we got perhaps the true highlight of the show over here.
Will you take upon yourself the honor and the heavy duty of...
Yeah, so I think this is like one of the Yunkai Summit. I guess they all just dress like this. The higher in rank the Yunkai Summit disciples get, the less clothes they wear, I guess. So yeah, this is, I think, the sister. This is like the sister of like one of the Yunkai Summit guys. So yeah, he's not playable, but his sister will be. And I guess she's probably gonna be the one that comes out in version 2.5. This is what I think is going to occur. You're gonna have 2.4 is gonna consist of some of these goofy ass looking characters, right? I think this guy's gonna be in 2.5, and I think she's gonna be in 2.5. So essentially, if we're to go back to brass tacks and talk about this 180 pull event, right? I hope you like her. Or you like 2.3's characters. So, her, Yizhuan, Walking Crime, or I guess her. And so, that's what it seems like the 180 pulls are going to be dedicated for across 2.3 and 2.4. Yeah, that spending event doesn't sound so good anymore, does it? Yeah, a 2-patch spending event on paper sounds okay, but if all the units getting shown look like pieces of shit, it's not that great anymore, is it? So now doesn't this seem like Hoyoverse understands that they have dropped the fucking ball completely with the character designs, and so in a desperation ploy to get anybody pulling on these banners, they basically made it so that Vivian she's going to the streets. They sent her to the streets just so these dog shit units end up getting some pulls on their banners. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I'm just gonna be real here. There's out of the 6 new characters coming out, the only ones that I would even consider pulling on is Giga Zenyatta and Bro's sister. That's it. Those are the only 2 that don't look like poo-poo. And it would really suck if they were in 2.5 and I wanted Vivian's skin. Because guess what? I ain't gonna be getting it unless I spend some money. That's pretty much it over here. So, yeah, I don't really know. I think like, I'm more excited for what's gonna be in version 2.5 than I am in version 2.3. So, maybe I'll check back in on the game in about 90 days. About 100 days. I'll check back in 2026. Because that's basically when the characters that I actually give a shit about are probably going to be available. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, the rest of 2025 is not looking really good, man. I'm just going to be, I'm just going to be real with you. Yeah, it's not looking particularly, I don't see why I would pull on any of these. So yeah, that'll be that for that one. Again, not the worst design for the event, but the characters look so during this version that it makes the design of the spending event bad. Yeah, I don't think there's anything more I need to say. That'll be that for this one, ladies and gentlemen. 2.3, a little bit disappointing. 2.4, also probably going to be trash. But 2.5, yeah, sure. We'll talk about that one in 2026. See y'all later. Peace.